Okay, as we have the board here firing up on our review notes for the uncertainty for a single measurement, let's go and talk about some of the main points, some of the I-CANs that we should have seen from this particular video notes. All right? Who wants to tell me one thing that they learned from these notes that they felt were important? Oh, don't everybody volunteer at once. Kennedy, thank you.
Absolute uncertainty is instrument uncertainty or readability error.
Okay, the absolute uncertainty is the readability error. So it's the amount of error, it's the acceptable limits that you can have when you're reading a particular measuring tool. Okay? And to be able to calculate the uncertainty, you need to know what? We need to know a few things. What do we need to know? The major scale of the instrument and the minor scale of the instrument. So to be able to calculate uncertainty, we have to have an actual instrument in front of us. We have to look at the major scale of the instrument. We have to determine the minor scale of the instrument. Then we can calculate the uncertainty, correct? Now, that leads me to our next slide here, the I-CANs. And when I did the I-CANs before we even talked about this, I can determine the major scale of a measuring instrument. I can determine the minor scale of a measuring instrument. And I can use the major and the minor scale to calculate the uncertainty of a measuring instrument. So, let's jump in. We are going to work examples of these. All right, obviously you won't have the picture, but here is a ruler. It's a meter stick. So on this meter stick, I have my scales. So go ahead and copy this box here, and we're going to do this uncertainty for this particular scale. As I'm viewing, okay, I know a lot about my meter stick, and I can look at right here and right here and right here. Those lines are my major scales. All right. Now, based on my knowledge of the meter stick, I know that the meter stick is composed of 100 centimeters. So this 40 to 41 right here is 1 centimeter. 41 to 42, 1 centimeter. 42 to 43, 1 centimeter. So when I have my scale, my major scale is 1 centimeter. Now, how many dashes for my minor scale are between my major scale? Good, David. There are 10. All right, there are 10. So, if I know that 1 centimeter is my major, and I've got 10 increments in between, 1 divided by 10 is 1/10. So my minor scale is 0.1 centimeters or 1/10. Now, how are we going to determine the uncertainty? Because I skip my measurement box here. I skip that third box, and I go straight to the uncertainty. Because I've already got what I need to do my uncertainty, correct? How am I going to get my uncertainty? And this differs, folks. This differs between people and who you ask. Okay? So this uncertainty calculation is not set in stone. I like to give us a little bit more leeway. Okay? I like to give us a little bit more leeway. Holden, what did I tell you to do to get uncertainty? Divide the minor scale by 2. So what is 0.1 divided by 2? 0.05. So when I write my uncertainty, I use a plus or minus. So what that tells me is every one of us in here should be able to have a value for this measurement within plus or minus 0.05 of each other. You think we could do that? Think we can do that? Well, go ahead and you make your measurement for this right here. Right there's our measurement. I don't know what it is. Let's call it a rock. Make your measurement for that rock right there. All right. When I made my reading, I looked at that and I said, okay, I have 40. I have 41. I have 41.5. I have 41.6. Do I have 41.7? No. Okay. So my estimation is going to be in between there. When I did mine, I did 41.64. Now, when we add in the uncertainty of that ruler, the plus or minus 0.05, okay? Well, what's 41.64 minus 0.05? What's 41.64 plus 0.05? Okay? So, based on our uncertainty calculation, okay? Based on our uncertainty calculation, are you somewhere in that range with your measurement? Anywhere from 41.59 to 41.69. Are you there? Okay. It wasn't too hard to hit in that area, was it? So, that is calculating the uncertainty. Now, make sure you include a label right here, the centimeters. Okay, make sure you include the label. Any questions over reading that? Now, when we're making measurements, ladies and gentlemen, when we're making these measurements, we're going to use these centimeters a lot probably. Okay, we're going to use centimeters. So this might be something you want to refer back to because you're probably going to see it again. My second example. This appears to me to be a graduated cylinder. Okay, this appears to me to be a graduated cylinder. So go ahead and I'll give you a second here. Copy this box again, your scale box, and then we'll roll after we get that copied. My first question, what is my major scale? What is my major scale? Anybody? You've already answered one. Okay. Yeah. Cubby said it is 10. Well, I agree with him. So, my major scale is going to be 10. Now, we've got to figure out a label, and it's not on here. I said this is a graduated cylinder. What do you think graduated cylinders are typically measuring? Milliliters. Good. Milliliters. Now, what is my minor scale for this graduated cylinder? My minor scale for the graduated cylinder. Yeah. 1 milliliter. How'd you get that? You divided 10 by 10. So my minor scale is 1 milliliter. So these markings right in here are all 1 milliliter. So what does that mean my uncertainty is going to be? Once again, how do we calculate the uncertainty? How do we calculate the uncertainty? Peyton? Divide the minor scale by 2. What's 1 divided by 2? So I've got plus or minus 0.5. Go ahead and make your measurement reading now. Okay, make your measurement reading. I'll give you a second, and then we'll see if we fall into the scale, the range. All right, once again, at eye level, I'm reading the meniscus. So I see my meniscus is right here. Now, I look, and I say, okay, I have 20, I have 21, 22, 23. Do I have 24? I look at that and say, I think that my meniscus is exactly on that line. So I'm going to make my reading 24.0. My estimate is that 0.0, and that 0.0 says Braun thinks it's on the line. All right. Now, let's throw in our uncertainty then, people. Our uncertainty, the plus or minus 0.5. So, are you anywhere in between 23.5 and 24.5? Is that what your reading is? Number one. Number two, did you have an estimate? Did you have that? Whoa. Go back. Did you have that 0.0? Okay. Would 24 be good enough? No, because you don't have an estimated value. So 24 would not be good enough. You need that estimated value, that 0.0. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit of a tougher one because we have a different scale here. We have a different measuring instrument. So go ahead and copy down the table, and we'll go from there. This piece of equipment here is going to be similar to your 10 milliliter graduated cylinder. So as I look at this, Mia, what is my major scale for this instrument? 1, what's my label going to be? You're right. 1 milliliter. So that means, Lauren, what is my minor scale going to be? How many markings do I have? I have 10 in between that. So what is my minor scale? 1 divided by 10, 1 centimeter. I have 10 markings. 0.1 milliliter. Good. So that means my uncertainty is what, Logan? plus or minus 0.05. So this one is just like what? This one's just like what? The meter stick that we just had, right? So this is going to be similar to the meter stick we just dealt with. So when I make my measurement, I look and I say, okay, I have 2. I have 2.5. I have 2.6. That meniscus looks to me about halfway. Okay? So I'm going to come up with my measurement of 2.65 plus or minus 0.05. So when I take away and I add my 0.05, did you fall in between the 2.60 and 2.70? Hopefully you did. Hopefully you did. Questions? Now we've done our guided practice. So now you are going to do your independent practice. So I want you to look at what I have here, okay? Because the next one, you're going to do major, minor, measurement, uncertainty, and then you're going to calculate the range that you need to have for a piece of equipment, okay? So, here we go. Here is an actual picture of a graduated cylinder that is reading milliliters. So go ahead, fill in the boxes, and determine your range. Okay, we've already used this particular scale. So, if you didn't realize that we've already used this particular scale, because my major scale was 10 milliliters. My minor scale was 1 milliliter. So that means my uncertainty is plus or minus 0.5. Now here's the big thing. What was my measurement? Did you hit the ranges? Well, I look at this and I say, okay, I've got 50. There's 51. There's 52. Do I have 53? Do I have 53? I do not have 53. So I look at that and I say, well, to me, that's more than half, so I'm going to estimate that at 52.8 is my estimate. So my range would be anywhere from 52.3 to 53.3. Are your figures similar to that? Do they have to be identical? No. Are they similar? I just looked at Quinn's. He said that he had 52.7, right? So, is he in the same ballpark that I am? Yes. Yes, he is. Questions on this one? All right, we're going to do one more of these. One more of these. This one's a little bit different. So go ahead and make your readings, your scales, and make your measurement with the uncertainty. All right, what is my major scale? What is my major scale for this particular one, Jamie? 1 milliliter, okay? Always remember, let's include labels. 1 milliliter, because we're measuring a volume, okay? So that would make my minor scale to be what, Clayton? 0.1 milliliter. So then, Carissa, that would make my uncertainty what? Plus or minus 0.05. So, what are we going to have for our measurement for this particular one? All right. I look, I say, okay, here's 22. Here's 22.5. Here's 22.6. That's kind of blocking the view of my line, isn't it? Okay? So that leads me to say that I don't think that that is going to be quite where I thought. All right? Oh, you know what? Time out. Time out. What am I doing? I'm reading it wrong, aren't I? I've done this before. This is a burette. All right? This is a burette. It reads from top down. So I should be reading here. So 21. That's 21.1. Do I see 21.2? It's in here somewhere. Here's 21.3, right? So it's a teeny bit more than 21.3, isn't it? So let's say my estimate is going to be 21.3 21.31 plus or minus 0.05. Now, did you take it out to be that accurate? Did you take it out to the hundredth and estimate the value? All right? Did you take it out that far? Because I can read this particular instrument out to the hundredth, can I? Now, that would mean that my plus or minus would lie anywhere between 21.26 and 21.36. Ask yourself, did you hit that range? Were you in an acceptable range for your measurement? Now, questions. We got a thumbs up about how to calculate the uncertainty. Are we okay? Let me see them. All right. Now,